Well, it's been a minute, but welcome back to Mango's Manny. We are going to make a quick set for my crusty nails. I haven't worn nails in a bit. I found some time to make myself a new set. This is going to be a recreation from Xxs Nails. I saw these Hello Kitty nails and decided that I had to have it. I needed them on my fingers. So I grabbed a bunch of my silver Cateye gels just to test out and see which one look closer to the picture. I thought this Be Mine, Be Me, Buy Me, whatever it's called, one would be close, but it was just a little bit too dark, just a tad bit too dark gray for me, and it wasn't giving that white shiny silver. So I got my NEKOKO, however it's pronounced, nail gel Cateye nail, and this one gave that white silver, but it was shimmery. The Hello Kitty one is silky. So I got my nail and Yali Cateye, and this one is silky, but it didn't have the coverage. I was at a loss. I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? These last two ones were given the white Cateye that I needed, the white silver Cateye that I needed. So I had to think of a way to find the coverage so that my nail doesn't peek through on the nail. So I decided what I'm gonna do is use CapCut gel, and you have seen me do this a couple of times. I've used CapCut gel to hide like my nail underneath, or to hide nails underneath, so that they don't peek through while you're wearing them, because that's annoying. I don't want to see my nails under my nails. So I use my CapCut gel to give like that little sheer coverage so that my nail blends in, and it also gives quite a bit of a body. You know, this is by Xxs, however you pronounce the word. It gives it like a little bit of a body for the gel you're putting on top, so that it has a coverage, and it helps with your nail not peeking through, and it also helps with using less gel, if it makes sense. And as we go on, I want to apologize for the quality of the video. At one point it looks blurry, and at another point it gets real crisp and nice and juicy. I don't know what happened. I can't be bothered. I've been trying to figure out my new filming setup. I need a new overhead lamp, and it's not working out. So this is what the NEKOKO Cateye looks like over that nude CapCut gel, and I think it looks nice, but it was so shimmery, and that was my only qualm about this color, because I thought it looked beautiful over the nude. It still gave white silver, so it wasn't being drowned by the nude Cateye. So I was satisfied with that. I just didn't like the fact that it was so shimmery overall, because when I swatched them at the time, it didn't look shimmery, you know. But when you're swatching on those small little cabochons, clear cabochons, you don't have that much surface area, so I guess I couldn't see the shimmer that was hiding behind it. But it was overall, I think it was nice. My only problem was that it was shimmery and not as silky as the Hello Kitty in the photo, right? So I decided, let me see what my nails and Yali is saying. Let me see what she's gonna give, if she's gonna do the same thing that I need her to do on the Cateye. And from boom, no, I already know from the start it was not going to do what I needed it to do. She got ate up by the nude underneath, unfortunately. She got ate up. Maybe I could have put some more underneath, but it was giving more of a light pinkish color. Yeah, so I decided to go with the what's it called, the shimmery NEKOKO Cateye. So both of these are Chinese nail brand, and they've both shown up in my previous hauls. So if you want to check them out, you can. The NEKOKO is more of a recent gel that I just got. The Nails and Yalis, I have had it for a very long time. And that's just me making my final deliberation, and I went with the NEKOKO gel instead. And in the end, I loved it. I think it turned out pretty well. These are the two items I use to prep my nails. So I use a nail dehydrator, and it gives the top of the nail this kind of grit so the gel sticks on it. And then I put a base coat on top. Is the base coat necessary? Maybe not, but I do it. It doesn't bother me, you know. These are just some of the tools that I'll be using. My nail and Yali brush pen. I also have a no-name brush pen that I use. It's just a little bit thicker because most of her brushes are thinner. Also, I just got these new nail charms. They're star shaped. They don't look exactly like hers, but they're the closest thing I had, and I said might as well. You know, they still turned out cute. I'm using my Vex silver chrome. I'm gonna put the correct names for some of these brands inside the video. I also have my zombie top coat. I realized I picked up the wrong thing. Even though it's still thick, I should have picked up my other thicker top coat. Then we have my D&D top coat for the finish, 900, my favorite one so far to use. But let's get started. This is what I mean about the video changes in the quality. It's got real nice and crisp and ooh, you know, but then it goes back to being foggy. I just need to remember to clean my screen in the end. So being a press-on nail girly, some people have their ways of etching. I prefer to use a dehydrator. It makes the top of the nails like melt a bit. You can also use acetone. I've used acetone to give that little etch on the top of nails or even inside the nails when I'm trying to glue them to my fingernails. So if you prefer a chemical way to etch your nails, that's fine. But you can also buff them, which I used to do in the beginning. It's just that it hurt my hand having to buff almost 100 nails. But it's up to you. Whatever method to your madness you prefer, just do it. I just find this easier for me. And then I just put on my base coat, and I think the nails adhere good. Is base coat necessary in this step? Some people use it, some people don't. It just depends on you. I recently started using base coat. I just never use it, and I have never gotten a complaint saying that the nails have chipped or they have peeled off, anything like that. I think if you give the gel something to grip onto, it doesn't matter. The base coat, whether you use it or not, is not necessary. It's just that when I buy these stuff, they come in a pack. D&D love to come together for some reason, and when I buy them from the nail supply store, they come in a pack. So I get my top coat and my base coat together. I said might as well, I might as well use it. And these nails, I think they are extra small squoval. Yeah, extra small squoval, which is good for me because I prefer to use shorter nails on myself because I have a typing job and doing conventions and stuff like that. I need nails that I can maneuver in. Medium is like the highest I would go. I would not wear a long. Sometimes short is just a little bit too long. These extra short work for my nails because I have bitten nails, and if you have bitten nails, they might work for you as well. I got them off of Amazon. They work amazing. I've had one person from SakuraCon order this length so far, and she loved it. She got the little puppy dog nail set, and she wanted it in that same length that I had it in. So if you have a shorter bitter nails and you don't have that nail area, that nail space, that real estate for long nails, then give these a whirl. It'll put a lot less stress on your nail bed, especially, So what have I been up to all this time? Right now, I am just taking a little bit break in between conventions. I just come from SakuraCon, then immediately after we had Charleston Anime Fest, and we had a blast there. Charleston is like our secret getaway. I love Charleston, South Carolina. I didn't think I would fall in love with a little city, but it is my place. I have to say that it is my place. And I just in between this, I just been taking it MIA, re-upping on my nails, trying to build up my inventory, trying to make sure I have everything ready so that when what's my next convention? I think it is it Minneapolis? No, it's Charlotte. My next convention is Big Charlotte Anime. I can't wait to go. I've been to Charlotte before. Have I? Pause. No, I've been to Greenville. I've been to Greenville, North Carolina. I haven't been to Charlotte yet. But I am excited for that. It's a mid-tier con, I would like to say. It's bigger than our cons, those anime fests that I normally do, but it's still smaller like than Sakura Con, so it's like in between. So I would still call it mid-tier. And I'm excited. I my goal was to do bigger cons, and I did. So I did Sakura Con. Whoop whoop. I was very excited for that. I just got accepted into DreamCon, but I can't go. I have prior engagements, unfortunately. They just waited too long to let me know that I was accepted. I had already given up on getting into DreamCon this year, but they just, as of May 30th, DreamCon is July the 10th. July the 10th. And I have a lot going on in July at this point in time, so I cannot go, unfortunately. I wish they had just let me know before I set everything in motion. Then I would have been able to like push it back, whatever my prior engagement, push it back or put it forward, whichever one would have worked best for me. And I had to decline them. It was nice to see that I got in. I always wanted to get into DreamCon, but I'll try again next year. If I got in this year, I can get in again another year. It's whatever. I would love to get into a convention in Georgia. You know, I've done smaller conventions around Georgia, but AWA, I tried DragonCon, they denied me. MomoCon would have put me as a vendor, and I don't have the type of inventory to be a vendor. And my nails are pretty affordable, so that means I would have to increase them when I'm trying to be an affordable nail vendor, you know. I've signed up for AWA, so we'll see if I get into that. It'll be nice too. They don't have it in December this year, which is awesome because nobody wants to be shopping the week before Christmas. We already bought our stuff, but it's in November, which I think it's much better. It's a much better deal than December. You know, I think the turnout and the money might not be as full as it would have normally be before this economy, but I think it would give vendors and artists a better chance this year than having it in December. You see what I mean? What else? I did sign up for Anime Frontier. So obviously if you get into at least one convention in Texas, that would be great. That's later down in the year. That's like the beginning of December. Yeah, somewhere in the beginning of December. And I'm hoping to go back home. I'm hoping to go back home after Christmas. That would be great. That's a goal that I'm working to. Got to work some comp time for so I could have enough time to go back home in December. What's so funny is that I'm sitting down here looking back at this video, and because it's in all pink, and Mona Leo just came up with her song, Everything Pinker, I'm just here like, everything pinker. I'm just singing it in my head as I'm recording my voiceover. But yeah, I think I'm satisfied with the color. Where did my stick go? It's like 1 minute I had this long magnetic stick and it just disappeared. But I think I'm satisfied with this. The shimmer is not what I wanted, but the color payoff is what I wanted most. And I think that is much better than just having the shimmery and the pink is showing through. Maybe I could have found a lighter nude, but this nude is closer to the nude on my fingernails. So if I had used like a nude that maybe shift yellow, it would have looked off on my nails. It would have looked off. So I'm fine. I'm fine with this. What have you guys been up to lately? I did go watch Obsession. If you have watched Obsession, I'm not gonna do any spoilers, but it was a great movie. A movie that I saw no fanfare about. I saw no trailers. I saw nothing about this movie. I just kept seeing people say, hey, you need to go watch Obsession. You need to go watch Obsession. You need to go watch Obsession. My boyfriend was like, let's go and watch Obsession, and he's not on social media the way like I'm plastered to my phone, and he just got up one day and said, let's go and watch it. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. And I was so disturbed. I was just Nikki did an amazing job. Whatever her name is, I don't know what her name is. She did an amazing job of playing Nikki. She made me feel uncomfortable from the beginning to the end of the movie. And at the end of the movie, I felt so bad for her because now she has to deal with the mess that she had no power but she made, and the commentary on the whole show was just great. Everybody's theories and what's the word, conversations following the movie broke it down from not, let me not say broke it down, but seeing everybody's takes, different takes, similar takes on the movie and how they felt about it, and what we all know Bear is the bad guy, but also Nikki friends are also the bad guy. You could see a lot of people in that show, in that movie, took advantage of her, and more people were obsessed with her than one. We all know Bear didn't love Nikki. He loved the idea of Nikki. I feel so sorry. Every time I think Bear is going to redeem himself, he just slips further and further and further into being an ass. And it was just everybody just seems so selfish when it came to what Nikki was doing and feeling, and not seeing the fact that people are taking advantage of her. And it was a lot. I even screamed at one point. We all know what point I screamed at. If you watch the movie, you know what point I screamed. And she caught me way off guard. I knew it was coming. I knew that was coming. I just didn't know when and how brutal it would have came. At one point in time, I felt bad for Sarah, but after hearing some people talked about it, like really think about Sarah's role to play. She saw her best friend basically had a mental breakdown in front of everybody, and then she still tried to go for her guy. Sarah, yeah, what happened to you was bad, but still, you. If somebody called my man out to 3:00 in the morning, shoots, we might have the same issue. You see what I'm saying? But I feel like everybody just knew what was best for Nikki and not asking Nikki what's best for her, especially Bea, who supposedly loved her, And somebody said it's like it gives us reactionary abuse. So you have somebody who's constantly taking advantage of you, abusing you, and then when you finally snap and when you finally stand up for yourself, it's like 10 times worse than the person who has been abusing you all this time has done, because you have just bottled it up and you are just reacting to what they have done to you all these years, and you look like the villain, you look like the bad guy. So now Nikki has to pick up from all the abuse, even though we don't see Bea physically hurting her, but he basically took away her autonomy. He took away her right to say no and stuff like that. And if you haven't seen Obsession, please go and watch it. One of the craziest theories that I've found out learn is maybe Nikki is Bea's cat. That is funny. to tell you honest truth. But when they started explaining it like a cat, a pet, a pet needs to be praised. A pet needs your admiration. If you don't see you, they lose their minds. If you're not there, it's like you don't exist. All those kinds of stuff. And I'm like, I could see it, I could see it. I like, even in the beginning when the wish was said, you could hear Nikki said, oh, my cat died. And then she said, my dad died. And I was like, no, I think she just slipped up in that beginning, but it's whatever. I love the movie. I think uncomfortable horror is the way to go. Uncomfortable modern horror is the way to go. Jump scares are great and stuff like that, but when I get scared, I don't watch a lot of supernatural movies, but when I get scared, it's like a bone-chilling scare, especially from the supernatural aspect, because I'm very spiritual when it comes to those things, but this gave me the same chilling feeling of like Insidious or The Nun, something that's more close to a religious feeling or a spiritual feeling, but it didn't give me, it wasn't because this was like a religious type of movie. It was more because this is something that could happen to anybody. You see yourself in Nikki as a woman. You see yourself in Nikki, and if people go and watch this movie and their takeaway is, well, I would have done the wish differently, that's not the point. If Nikki liked beer, he wouldn't have needed the wish in the first place. She gave him the opportunity, he didn't take it, and instead of manning up and saying what he felt, he decided, no, I'm gonna take advantage of the situation. Even though part of him thought the wish wouldn't have worked, he decided that I am just going to wish for this instead of just manning up and saying, hey Nikki, I like you, when she gave him the opportunity. She might have said, oh, I like you as a brother, bear, or she might have given him a try, because some people just need to know it's out there, and then it changes their perception of you. If I don't know you like me and I see you as a friend, if you don't tell me you like me, I might not never see you in another light, But if you prefer to take away my say in the situation, then come on, man, come on. So if you haven't watched it, please watch it. I might watch it again. Maybe go with my dad and watch it again. I also did see that Toy Story came out with a new movie, and this one is like the attack of the iPad kids. No, but I think it's Leapfrog. It's like a take on Leapfrog, and I had Leapfrog. I loved my Leapfrog as a kid. I thought it was a really good device. I even used it up to like when I was like an older child. I thought it was a really good device. You could learn words, numbers, it read to you, you could read back in tandem. I love my Leapfrog pad. And if let me know if you're going to watch the Toy Story movie. What am I saying? The Toy Story movie. I might watch it. I like Toy Story. I love Disney. I want to see how long they're gonna carry on this franchise. How many Toy Stories they could get out of this one iteration. But they seem to do it well each and every time, so I want to see what's going to happen with this one and see how it goes, I did also watch Yumi and Tuscany. Didn't watch it in the theaters. I watched it on the TV, and it was a decent show. It did give rom-com. It did give cringe at some point in time. It was a cute little black comedy. I enjoyed every single moment of it. I do have to say that the main character played by Holly, if she was my friend, she would drive me up a wall. Because why you coming to my job begging me to put my job at a risk when you know I'm pregnant, when you know I have a family, when you know I got stuff to do, I got things, people that rely on me. I need this job, and you over here going through a midlife crisis. Yes, I'm here to help, but I'm not going to risk my job for you. I already did it once. Don't ask me to do it again, but I don't know, her guardian angel was working hard for you to get up in the middle of the night to just go to Italy on a prayer. God bless her. Sometimes it work out for some people, sometimes it don't work out for others. The fact that they didn't do anything to her is a miracle. She made the right ones. Because if you break into my house, my multi-million-dollar house and my vineyard, I will be strapped. You know, the police will be called. She would have not made it out of Italy. She would have not made it out of Italy. But this is a rom-com. I'm happy it worked out for her. She found the love of her life. You see me? The cousin. She got with the cousin. Ooh. Found the love of her life. Cooking again. Happy for her. Wish her nothing but the best of luck. Have those babies so they could take care of the farm, the vineyard. Amen. Do what you got to do, my girl. I think it was a great rom-com. I don't like romantic comedies because I do find them cringe. But this was pretty cute. And the guy who did it, I've watched several others of his movies. And I was like, yeah, this does remind me of his other works. So I don't mind it at all. What else am I watching right now? I am watching Game of Thrones. I'm on the part where Joffrey dies. I think his death was just a little bit too easy. He needed something a little bit more miserable. Make him a little bit more miserable. Game of Thrones is like shock after shock after shock. I had no idea what the Red Wedding was. I thought the Red Wedding was when Joffrey died. But to know it's when Robb Stark died and his unknowingly wife and his mother. And if you hear like spoilers, Game of Thrones has been out for years. If you have not watched it by now, I'm sorry, it's all over the internet. If you're going to watch it, watch it. If you're not, don't talk to me about spoilers. I personally don't care about spoilers. You could spoil a whole show for me. It would not ruin the show. But Game of Thrones has been out for years. If you haven't watched it by now, I'm going to assume you don't plan to watch it anytime soon. You know? So me and my boyfriend, that's a show that we're watching. And Game of Thrones just shocks me every single time somebody gets on the screen. It's like something egregious is about to happen. And I don't know. I don't know how they get to all of these. It can get disturbing at times. What else am I watching? I'm watching Shangri-La. It's an anime. I think, is it a Chinese anime? I'm not sure. But I had seen it advertised a while back, and I was like, I don't know. It doesn't look like my type. A man with a bird head, you know. But I started watching it. I'm like, it's a good nonsensical anime at this point in time. Nothing serious has happened where I'm having to lock in and sit up to watch it. I just have it in the background just playing as I do other stuff. But so far, it's been good. My brother was watching it and he told me give it a little watch. I said, okay, cool. I'm waiting for my other more serious animes to finish, like Free Reign and Chitchat so I can binge it. We are also watching From. If you're not watching From this season, please watch From. Please watch From. It feels like they haven't given us any answers, but I think last episode they gave us a little bit more to work with, and I can't wait to figure out what these things are, if they're going to get out. It doesn't look like they're going to get out, but I'm hoping for the best. But let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know what you're watching. Give me some recommendations based off the stuff that I just said. Let me know if there's anything that I might like to watch. Just, you understand? So please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time. Please tell your mother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, your dog up the road, the cat on the street. Bye.
Of my eye and apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur, Y2K on your seams, puff in my chest, trying to act for the scene, cause I'm trying to get low, eat everything in between, trying to get low, be my yin yang twin flame, insane, you Shakira with them hips, said your Q rate, put me on to your mix then, if you free for the weekend, for you at Knicks plans, please don't let me down, feeling like a Knicks fan, if you ghost me, we still meeting through my sixth sense, I'm just playing, no but really, when you and me, no such thing as 50-50, I ain't tripping over digits like many men. to handle all of that. Since you mentioned it was names you used to mess with, I'll